Hello, and welcome to the Diva Talks Live Show. I am your host, the Diva. Listen, before I introduce this awesome special guest of mine, I want you to remember to share this show. If you share and comment in the comment section, shared, you could win or be in the winnings for this beautiful piece that I am wearing tonight by Glamorous Embellishment featuring paparazzi. So make sure when you share, you put in the comments, shared. I'll talk to you more in the after talk show. But now, listen, I've been talking about it for the last couple of days. I'm super excited. My special guest this evening is Mr. Will Houghton. Hey, Will.
Hey, Diva.
How are you?
I am great. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank you. Listen, Will Houghton, if you ask about a saxophone player anywhere in the city of Buffalo or Western New York, your name is at the top of the list. Maybe the only name on the list. You are a pure genius when it comes to that sax. And I'm just in awe. Will, tell everybody who Will is, what you do, and how long you've been playing the sax, and even why you even started.
Yeah, well, I'm 41 years old now, and I started playing when I was 18 years old. It's a real simple question answered. I was in church at Refuge Temple from like 14 to 20, and senior year of high school, my grandmother passed away. But before my grandmother passed away, um, I went and saw my first R&B concert, smooth jazz concert. It was Kenny G and Tony Braxton. And after that concert, me being around the church and being around all these musicians, Rashawn Odell, Chris Putman, Nathan Salter, Ralph Johnson, Quincy, Darius Bryant, a lot of these guys, who are so awesome at what they do. Pluky Northington. And I tried singing in the choir when I was 15. That was kind of like a nah, even though I can sing now, but like back then I
Okay.
couldn't. So, God spoke to me, you're going to play saxophone. And I remember telling Nate Salter, yeah, man, God spoke to me. I'm going to play saxophone. So every interview I've done, some people get it and some people don't, but God has really told me I was going to play sax. I mean, I was on my way to the services for senior ROTC, and I didn't get a promotion junior year, and I wasn't playing yet. It kind of derailed me. I was really heavily involved in the church. It kind of derailed me from wanting to be anything with the service, armed forces, anything. I didn't want to do it. And music came into my life. And, this is the kid that was up with my best friend Steve Holmberg, shining my boots and ironing my officer clothes, and my BDUs are crisp, and all that, and then go to Fort Dix, New Jersey, get a trophy, yada yada yada. But then I came back and I didn't get a promotion junior year. It kind of totally just was like disappointment moment. So
Mhm.
anyway, my grandmother died when I was 18 in April, and I started playing right before that. Like I started playing like senior year summer. So I was like 17, about to be 18. My birthday's Valentine's Day. So, I mean, that's basically that. I mean, and I went to Villa Maria College for jazz performance, but I didn't graduate. I learned more on the streets, getting hollered at on stage by these guys, Russo Taylor, layout, I'm playing too much, and Rodney Appleby, the Dr. Rodney Appleby, giving me an opportunity to play with him this is when I was 19. I was playing for a year at the time, and I got stood up for a date. And I got stood up for a date, and I went to the steel drum, which at the time was the A Train. And we just got done doing my second mentor, Ella Robinson's New Beginnings choral ensemble record. And I went there, and I was sitting in the audience, and I was talking to Rodney, Gordy Rogers, Rodney, Jonathan Hager, Kevin Hall, Wade Hawkins. And they're playing like these crazy lines, Billy's Bounce by Charlie Parker. Anyway, I'm sitting there and I'm just like, wow, this is crazy. Actually, no, Kevin Hall wasn't there. That's why Rodney told me to get my horn. He says, well, you got your horn? I said, yeah. And Rodney's like one of the best teachers. He said to me, do you know Friends and Strangers by Ronnie Laws? And I'm like, no, I don't, you know. And he asked, oh, you know this song? I said, no. He says, all right, don't worry about it. So he kind of sung me the melody on stage. And then when we went to set break, he was like, I want you to visualize. Rodney's a great metaphor guy. He's a doctor, number
Mhm.
one. He was like, take that horn. I want you to visualize this. Blow that sucker up twice the size it is. And that to me is the ultimate, because I've gotten compliments from some of my great mentors and Ronnie Laws when I met him. He heard me warming up one time, like this is like what 15 years later. Oh man, you got that big Texas tenor sound, which is a compliment because that's a big fat, not a thin sounding horn. So anyway, like I said, started out in church, went to college, left college, got my butt kicked out here on the street, still getting my butt kicked, but taking the little victories along the way, and to they end up being big successes.
Wow. No one couldn't have told me that you didn't go to a performing arts to learn how to play the sax.
The funny thing is, Miss Doyle, my principal at traditional, because I was caught up in all my studies and stuff, and I was a good student in school. She let me play my sax in the auditorium for study hall. I could just go in there and just blow. I was blowing gibberish, but I was blowing from my heart. I had my CD player. Oh my gosh, the phone's ringing. Oh geez, where's the phone?
Important, I
Anyway,
told you.
I know, right? So, anyway, the phone is ringing. Mind that. Ms. Doyle got me in the auditorium playing for the special needs kids. The special needs kids, I didn't know they would come in there, but they would come in, and basically it was like awesome. It was like they were sitting there so attentive to me playing. It was
Mhm.
crazy. I was like, wow, and this is crazy because is my story that my mom told last year to Claudine Ewing and them is like kind of like a direct connect to playing for them special needs kids, and I didn't even know it. So yeah.
Mm.
Hmm.
Wow. Again, like I said, I thought this was something that you wanted to do. You took it in class. You are just
Uh-huh.
phenomenal. Now, you mentioned that your birthday is a Valentine's Day. Now, I've been to a few of these love cadenzas. Is that why you started doing the love cadenzas? Talk to us about it, and are we going to see it again?
Yeah, Love Cadenza would have been number 8 coming up in 2022. Originally, the concert was started as a platform provider. That's what I do. I consider myself more of a business person more than a player. I appreciate all the compliments you give me and people, and the love people give. But if my strength would have been what I know what it is now, I would have been a lawyer. Like
Mm.
straight, like, cause and entertainment lawyer, business lawyer, like that's what I love to do. I love introducing people, connecting people. I'm a connector. I'm a platform provider, and that's what I do. Love Cadenza is a showcase of talent that you may not see. It's an array from 20-year-olds all the way up to 60-year-olds, and music was always to me the generational connector. It's a
Right.
bridge, no matter if it's Drake or the Spinners, no matter if it's Diddy or if it's Four Tops, no matter if it's Leonard Skinner or Talib Kweli. It's a connector. You bring people together, races of people, origins, race, creed, spiritual beliefs. You come together. Music can, unite people. And James Brown said it best. Music is a universal language. And you can go over to India and they know good music. You can go to
Mhm.
Australia and they know good music. Go to Japan, China, anywhere, US, and that's basically that. So, Love Cadenza, it would have been on number 8. And through the years, I've featured Maya by Name, Maya Riot, Jatan Louis, Dijon Motley, aka D Mott, Joey Diggs, Carlton Wilcox from Rochester, Brian Freeman, Buffalo Music Hall of Fame inductee Brian Freeman. I mean, it's so many people. Lindsay Nix, Nikki Hicks, Joey Diggs. Uh,
Powerful.
I can go down the list of people who've been on Doobie Powell, who's written for Marsha Ambrosia and Kim Burrell and a bunch of other people. He came to the third one, and it's a platform provider. And like he said, Doobie said on stage, if you don't know who I am when I leave, you will know.
You
And
will.
that's what a lot of people, they don't know who these people are. And when they leave, if you got your merch, if you got your website, if you got a comp card or a business card or something, I'll give them the opportunity to push their stuff, because that's what it is for me.
Mhm.
um, I'm moving around the whole night. Boom, boom, boom. People think, they see me coming out changing clothes 3 and 4 times, like, like it's me being grand, but that's just, it's my birthday celebration. And then on top of that, it's like, it's the night, so, it's featuring them. The biggest, I would say, contrast now with Love Cadenza is the fact that now it benefits the American Heart Association of Buffalo Niagara.
Oh.
This came to me because of like I said before, me playing for the special needs kids. And I'm not ashamed of it either. I actually drive for a student special needs wheelchair bus for the past almost
Okay.
3 years. So it's all
Nice.
connected, and
Right.
and so yeah, I do it like 20 hours, like minimal, but I love the kids, and so even when I played for the special needs kids who had Down syndrome and different ailments, mental disorders and stuff like that, when I was 18, 19, um, when I was born, this is a story my mom told to Claudine, and I'm looking at my mom like, what? This is crazy. Like my expression, because she's like letting it all out. And I'm like, I didn't even know
Mhm.
all this. So, I was born with 4 holes in my heart. It was 4 heart murmurs, right? So I was supposed to have open heart surgery, and I came back in a month as a baby, newborn. The holes healed up. 3 months old, get diagnosed with spinal meningitis. My mom was washing me in the tub, and I had crazy sweat bubbles on my head, more than just water. It was hot, and so she said they took me to the hospital, 104-degree temperature, packed me in ice, and then when I went into a coma. So when I was in the coma, they would say I'd be either mentally retarded, special needs, blind, or a combination of deaf, or three. And
Mm.
they couldn't find no veins. So the only scar I have, and still to this day I have it, is on my ankle, because that's where they put the IV at. But I never had any surgery. So, like, I'm not about pity and I'm not about any of that. So I always kept it kind of to myself. But now it's like, I give a portion of the proceeds from Love Cadenza. I take it to American Heart Association. Like last year, my friend Ashley Rowe at Channel 7 news anchor, I presented, saw her and talked to Mark, the president, and various people. I sat there for their Valentine's women's lunch at the Lexus Club, and I gave him a check for 500. And
Nice.
every year I'm going to give more and more and more. And it's not like in my name or nothing. It's in my name as the check, but it's not like I'm doing a foundation or nothing. It's just me giving it until I set something up like that down the road. But for me, it's just me giving back because, I have my angel on me, so my mom's telling all this stuff to Claudine Ewing. That's my girl, Claudine.
Hey,
Uh,
Claudine.
yeah, right. And I'm just like, what? I'm like, oh my gosh. It was like blowing me away. Taking no, like I had my sunglasses on, because if I didn't, there would have been all types of eye emotions and stuff,
Right.
But yeah, so while I was under the coma, my mom went to the church near Children's Hospital and poured all the money she had in the poor box, and she prayed, and my dad prayed. My dad was at work, his friends. My dad worked for Pine Hill Concrete when they were on Kearns, and then Lafarge, and my mom was working at Rich Products. And so my mom is at, praying. My dad, his friends come up and they say, "Oh man, that kid, I'm gonna call him Spike, man. He's a fighter. He's a fighter. He's gonna come out." And so when I came out, I was crying, 3 months old, and my mom, the nurse was like, "Somebody's cranky." She's like, "No, my baby's hungry." Like, so, you know, um, I came back for tests and everything was just, I mean, plus, 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 everything is great. So it's just, God is good. I mean, God is real. I tell you
Yes,
that.
he
So
is.
switch
Wow.
to your
Well,
switch to your camera solely right quick. I'm gonna handle this situation, the phone thing, if you don't mind.
no,
You
no.
can do that? I know. All right.
Wow, you just never know. You just never know the connections. You just never know why things happen the way that they do.
Right.
But you have to connect into that. And that's what you are doing. And you said you love giving back. Now we got hit with COVID,
Hmm.
and you did something during COVID. Talk a little bit about that. And we have a surprise for our audience. Talk a
Yeah.
little bit about what you did during COVID.
The state. I was the last person to perform at Mike's Lounge. It was Sunday, March 8th, and then
My
on
birthday.
hey, yeah.
Hey.
So the city shut down on that Monday, the following Monday,
Mhm.
and that was the 16th. And I remember driving, packages to the kids with the school bus, taking the kids, their stuff and yada yada yada. 2 weeks in the process, I started playing solo at my home with a GoPro, and I was playing with tracks. And then Kevin Hall joined me for the last one, and I said, you know what, man, wait till you see my next one. My next one, I'm gonna have my band on here. And so basically, I invited Brandon over, Brandon Sherman Josie, love him, little brother.
Hey,
Great
Brandon.
vocalist. Yeah, great vocalist, singer, organ, drums, piano, perfect pitch.
Talented.
Yeah, awesome. And then Cal Palmer. So on Good Friday, that we did our first sesh, which was one camera, and it was up in the corner of my old studio, which I've redone since then. And we were playing like gospel songs, total praise, and speak to my heart, and our not the time, not the place. And then the following week, Calvin was like, and I love Calvin, love Brandon, love this guy. I'm about to talk about Tony Payne. Tony Payne, Calvin said, "Yo, if you want Payne to come over, man, Payne can come on through, man. I'm just saying, yeah, man." So anyway, I said, "Yeah, that'd be great."
He's gonna
So,
get you.
oh yeah, yeah, I love Cal, I love Cal. He's true.
Yeah.
So Tony came over, and then Tony missed a week, and then my brother Daniel Powell came over, and that was great. But Tony was like the right fit, for this. He was the first to touch it. It was great, and it was then from then on, I came up with a name called the Sesh.
Well, why don't we play a little bit of what we've been talking about?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Oh yeah,
Wow. Wow. Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
So
Wow. That
yeah,
that's awesome. That is so awesome. So you just have an ear, so you just bring people together, and you just so where are we going to hear this band playing again? Or because I see you doing a lot of stuff.
yeah. I'm doing a lot of solo stuff right now. The pandemic, thankfully enough, has been really good to me. I did have COVID. I got it in last September,
Really?
and I had the full Monty of it. But I was playing from the last Saturday of January all the way to the first Saturday of April. So Love Cadenza 7 was last year. I called it the Mega Cadenza because every Saturday I was playing at Salvatore's. and
Right.
so and then we've only done a few band performances this year. But we did some nice ones actually. We played the Syracuse. We played the Just Some Jazz Lounge in July. In August, we played the Syracuse Jazz Festival, aka Jazz in the City. It's by CNY Jazz Fest. My friend Larry Luttinger had us out there, and that was actually more to the heart because it was a COVID free event for COVID shots. So
Mm.
we're playing on stage, and there's a crowd of people out there, all out there, and they got vendors and all that. And then they have a big old tent over there, and the one doctor was really cool. He was a black doctor giving out the COVID shots, and they raffled off like a TV, and it was really nice. And the mayor was there of Syracuse, really nice guy. Also, state senator. Um, Mary, she was there. I forgot her last name, but she was really dope, and it was really nice. Syracuse shows a lot of love, and
Nice.
then we played Mike Lounge. I love Mike's Lounge. Tommy Fluker.
Shout out to Tommy.
Yeah, I love it. But other than that, I've been doing solo performances, and what this has done for me is it's really made me hone in on becoming a better musician and also understanding my instrument. Now, any instrument like the saxophone or the flute or trumpet or trombone, anything that's where the oral cavity is used a lot, is very unforgiving. So I could take a day or two off because I got busy with either doing a media project or something, and it feels like I've been off for like a couple weeks, and it's very unforgiving. And that's the beauty of it, also, because you're breathing out of your body life into an instrument and shaping the sounds and all of that. So no offense to the drums or the keys or whatever, but
Right.
the brass wind family, especially the saxophone, is the closest thing to the human voice. You can really, if you take the time and really put the effort in, you can shape sounds and make it more human like, even in the voice, that it sounds like it's singing. Be like, oh, that saxophone is singing. It really is,
Right.
because you really, if you're listening, you're gonna shape sounds. You're gonna make it, make it beautiful. It's very unforgiving though. You'll never be where you want to be. You can be confident, but you'll never be where you want to be. Trust me, I can stand to that.
Well, from us looking out in the audience on the stage, you are phenomenal. You have
I appreciate it.
nailed it, and I know you're probably your own worst critic. I don't know if you remember or not, the first time that we met, my mother, who is deceased now, who actually died in April 2009, she called me over and she was like, "Oh, it's this guy I want you to meet. He plays the sax and he says that he wants you to come to his concert, me and
Hmm.
you, and things of that nature." And I met you then, and that
Yeah.
was years ago. You were gonna be playing at Eddie's, I think it was your first show or something like that.
My first show, after, well, as far as a concert, my first concert was when I brought Najee. Two
Okay.
shows in Toronto, two shows in Buffalo, and then in that December I released my first CD entitled Always. But for years, I started playing in '98. I started gigging, thankfully enough, in 2000. Um, 2000, I started gigging. I was playing one for Eddie's House of Jazz back then. That was the spot. But I like sat in. I didn't really have my own gig there, but my own gig started out when I met Ray Lawler over at the Adams Mark, rest in peace, Cafe, etc. in the Falls. My friend John DiBernardo, who owned Lay Metro Walker Center on Elmwood and the Water Street Landing. Jay Mano, who owned Bacchus and Soho. Now he owns Frankie Primo's in Soho. Like, he gave us opportunities. I was playing for like 4 or 5 years at the time, and me and Nikki Hicks, God sister, we would go down there and kill it, and then we all decided to go our own ways. I wanted to get more into original music because I got fired by my mentor, Van Taylor. That's my other mentor. Van was like,
Wow.
Van was like, "Hello there, sir. When you want to do originals, call me." So basically, that means like I was emulating my people who I liked: Everett Harp, Gerald Albright. Not really Najee. Me and Najee were more like family. I didn't really know too much about his music stuff until I worked for him for 10 years. But like, I like emulating Gerald and emulating Everett and their sound and their licks and all that. And I didn't have my own identity. But my mentor saw more in me, and he said, "When you want to do originals, call me." And my brother-in-law, Todd Robinson, he said, "Will, you need to do original CD." And my cousin Tony Shep, who lived down the street, he still does. He was like, "Yo, man, we're gonna do this concert, man. You're gonna do that CD." And the rest is history. Najee played on the first one. I actually wrote for three Najee CDs. Najee gave me an opportunity to write for him at the same time launch my first project, and he didn't even charge me to play on it because I was already like family and working for him, and he looked out for me. And so I always say it's purpose by design, and that's what I say, purpose by design. And then I got blessed with a group of brothers. I got my two god brothers, Rod Bonner and Daniel Powell. They
Awesome.
really, and Richie Valentino as well. They donated all their talents to my first record. They didn't charge me anything, and then from there I paid them to be on that Najee album, that Najee project, Mind Over Matter. I wrote the first song called "Love Your Lifetime." I wrote about a girl, and that's a good song. But like I said, everything, it just pays forward.
Right. You have a resume from here to California, and we've only talked about the music portion of it, but you do media. You do
Yeah. Mm.
photography. Are you still into that?
I am, but we can keep it on music. It's all good.
No, I mean, I want to. I listen. That's fantastic because I don't know where you find the time because I see you everywhere doing some of everything, and you've actually taken pictures for me. You took my daughter's prom pictures along with a
Yeah.
lot of other people prom pictures. What made you switch over to that, or was that just something that you were
Um,
dabbling in?
you know what? The funny thing, I was teaching my mentor, my only photography mentor, and then I have only one video mentor, Vonnie Powell, Daniel's cousin. Uh, I was teaching his son Micah sax, and I don't teach sax, but I know the fundamentals. I can teach that, and I was teaching him, and they're getting ready to have dinner, and he's like, "Can Uncle Will, stay for dinner?" And you're like, "Yeah." This is November 2012. I said, "Vonnie, man," and Vonnie used to do all my photos. And he's like the legend. He don't even really shoot no more, but he can come out of retirement and just blow everybody away. Anyway, um, he gave me a napkin. He said, "Here, take this. If you can learn this, you're on your way." And it was the exposure triangle, which covers shutter speed, the art of capturing motion, aperture, which is depth of field, shallow or greater, ISO, which is either adding light or subtracting light from an image sensor, and then learning how to balance an exposure meter. And then I learned so much other stuff by reading books and videos and stuff on my own. I learned camera. If I would have learned the saxophone the way I learned the camera, I would have been a monster. I mean, I'm telling you for real, because I can talk to those who've been shooting for 20, 30, 40 years, who were shooting with film cameras, down to people who were shooting with DSLRs or mirrorless cameras, and we could talk it, and we could talk the talk, and I'm not missing them, and they're not missing me. But saxophone is totally different. So that's why I said, we won't even talk about media, but I got into it because I didn't want to be waiting for people to give me my footage. Because
Okay.
Matt Quinn, the son of Larry Quinn, used to own the Sabres and part of the Dodgers. He was doing video work for me, and he got ghosts with my footage. And I was with three companies at the time: Personas Audio Electronics, which is my mixing board. I'm still with them. I was with Applied Microphone Technology, also Eastman Music Company for saxophones, and Warburg Music Products for my mouthpieces. And they wanted videos to put up on their pages. And this dude shot all this stuff, and he shot stuff for Daniel, and he got ghosts with the footage. And I said, that's it. So my first time tinkering with the camera was in St. Martin, Najee. We were down there playing. Najee had brought me along. Thankful for that. I played like for Mesa a little bit, and Alex Young, and Najee was the headliner. I was doing like the sideman thing. But I was shooting pictures of Najee working with all these kids from the school, because he's actually from St. Thomas. He was there. He left St. Thomas when he was 4 to move to New York. And so it was an opportunity to shoot him, like conducting the band with the kids and all that. And then Mike DeSanto, I love Mike. That's my man. He gave me the first opportunity. DBGB's Neo Soul Tuesdays. I was shooting Drea and Chauncey, and that's the video that was on the news when he was singing. That was the video, my first video.
Listen, I
That was
I can
crazy,
listen
man.
to you talk about things that you have done and go on, and it's like the time
I
has
know,
just
right?
flown. But I can't end this. I can't. We're going to go a little bit over. I can tell you that right now because I
Okay.
cannot end this interview without you talking about your family. I know how close you are with your
Yeah.
family, and especially your nephew.
Yeah.
We've got to give a shout out to your family. Talk a little bit about your family and
Yeah.
how important they are to you.
I mean, I'm a product of a great interracial marriage. My mom Armenian and Irish, my dad African American and Blackfoot. My dad came from Mississippi when he was 16, met my mom when he was like 18, 17. My mom is 2 years older than my dad, and she was a rock for him. And, you know, they've been together now for almost 47 years. And, through the test of time, it's a testament of real love through the good, through the bad. But I have a good example of a protector in my father, a creativity person in my father, a hard worker in my father, a hard worker in my mother, a good person with business with my mother, paying all the bills and making sure that everybody eats well and that bills are on time. The money that she would make and that my dad would make would provide a good living for us. Nobody's musically inclined, but my mom went to Woodstock. She went there when she was 14, and
Okay.
And yeah, and like that's all I knew. I don't really know much about my dad's side, and I don't really know much about my mom's side. I mean, I do know them, but I could say like hanging out. I enjoyed my mom, my dad, my sister, and I, and that's what I could say. And then I met people along the way like Daniel and Rod, who meant a lot to me. If there was any tears shed in my life in regards to relationship, it would be in regards to Daniel and Rod, because those are I would give my life for those dudes. Regardless of where things have went, or where they're going. Those are two dudes that I love them. But and then one person who really changed my life and who I call her god sister is Sally Cruz. She got me to say what I mean and mean what I say and speak up for myself. Like, so
Love her.
that's my sister. That's my other sister. But other than that, like, I met a lot of people and they've been very impactful. But my mom and my dad have been great. My nephews are my sister's kids. My sister's went on. She passed last year, and my nephews are continuing to make her proud. My one nephew, he scored his 1,000 points last year in basketball for Niagara Wheatfield
Awesome.
junior year. Yeah, T.J. Robinson, and I'm looking forward to him doing his thing this year. And then my other nephew, Logan Robinson, he's really doing well with Niagara Wheatfield Falcons as far as football. He's actually playing against 15-year-olds, and he's only 11, and he's like
Nice.
he's killing them. He's a center. He's killing them. So
Nice.
like, we're blessed, man. We're blessed, Diva. How tight you were with your mom is the same way
Yes.
that I'm tight with my mom, and I love my dad too. And I just trying to cherish them while I can, because it's really just the three of us. That's what it is, and I'm good with that. I can't say I can never miss having a big family because I never had it.
Right,
I see
right,
people and I'd be
right.
like, all that drama going on over there, I'm good. We got it right here. We can quarantine that drama.
Wow. Will, you are phenomenal. I'm so, so happy that I know you on a different level. Again, like I said, you lived across the street from my mom,
We are
and we had a
always.
chance to meet. You've always been such a gentleman and just phenomenal when it comes to playing that saxophone. Where can we see Will next? Where are you going to be coming up soon?
The awesome thing about that, great question, because I have many, many new places that I'm playing at. I want to shout out Charlie Barone over at Jazz Baleen, and Paul Iscolo, who owns the Electric Tower, and Dave and the other David. They do the Jazz Baleen, 5010 Main Street in Williamsville. I play there every Thursday from 6 to 8:30, playing classic soul, R&B, a little bit of smooth jazz. And then on Fridays, Trigger in the Sermon, that's Douglas Trigger Gaston, Ben Clyburn, Greg Millar, and myself, or alternating trumpeter Tim Clark. We play there at Jazz Berlin the next day for a live band thing. And that's more of a Jimmy Smith, Charles Earling retro type feel. And that's normally on Fridays from 7 to 10. And me on Saturdays, I play at Salvatore's first, second, and third Saturdays from 7 to 10 p.m. I had them doing the wobble and the cupid and all that last time I played. I mean, them people was getting it in. I'm talking
I
about
love
dancing
it.
and getting a party. It ain't, I'm doing the
Yes.
track. I'm doing my thing with tracks. I play everything from Chris Brown to Earth, Wind and Fire to Usher to Kim to Spinners to Robin Thicke to Bruno Mars to Luther Vandross and Gregory Hines, like everything in between. And then as the night goes on, I really get more into my New Jack Swing things. I love New Jack. Like, I play Keith Sweat, I play Mary, I play a lot of stuff, and I really deep search for my tracks. So it's like the original tracks, and it sounds really good. And people get up and they dance and they have a good time. And shout out to Russ, young Russ, and Mr. Joe Salvatore. They have me there for it'll be 3 years coming up soon. And yeah, it's a party. I tell you that.
You are
And one
just
more,
blessed.
one
Yes.
more.
Yes.
I got, the funny thing is, and I'll be real brief about this. I want to say a word about tithing. Tithing. So I went through something really big, almost life changing in January, which really tested my faith and really made me want to home more in on God. And I did. And I was at the Basilica 3 to 5 times a week, just on my knees praying, through the pandemic. And then I was at Bishop Roderick L. Hennings' house doing photos, and God told me to tithe. They paid me. First Lady paid me. Love First Lady. I said, "Can you call Bishop back? I want to give him something." That was my first tithe. It was $50. and Bishop blessed it, and I've never missed a tithe since, and I've never worked as much as I've ever worked. I went from playing from 1 to 3 times a month to four to 6 times a week. Promise you.
You can't
And
beat
so,
God's given.
and I'm telling you, and the thing about it, they say the old people normally do the tithing of the church, and I said, yo, I'm not gonna be stereotype. I'm gonna give because number one, Dr. Miles Monroe, he world-renowned evangelist, rest in peace. He said tithing is God's management training program. He doesn't need our money; it's His money to begin with. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. You're right, dude. He says it teaches discipline, trustworthiness, dedication, amongst there's 3 other things that it teaches as well. And I've been doing that. So, sometimes I even tithe when I know I got something coming. I'll tithe early just on faith, and saying if it don't come, I don't care because it's nothing but money. God's gonna replenish it. So I give my mom $600 on Saturday towards bills. Sunday I get a call from a strange number from Rochester or Medina, and I'm like, hello, and it's a lady from the Benz Opera House. Replenished all that right back instantly, and she has me there this Wednesday in Medina. This place is 5-star. I'm talking about go to BentzOperaHouse.com and you'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm playing in the Harvest restaurant. Anyway, so I'm playing there from here all the way to June 2022. God, willing. Just first Wednesdays, but like I said, He's just gonna take care of this. And I've been tithing with my time for years, and I will continue. I might not sow into the old people, but I'm gonna sow into some new people, and that's true. So that's all I wanted to say about that. But I encourage any person who is self-employed, because I work for myself more than my bus job, and God is just taking care of. I've never seen almost 70 grand, and I pay taxes on it. I got to do 1099 forms and all that, Jazzbaline and all that. And just it's crazy. Like never in my life. And it's more than money. It's just the fact that I trust Him, and there's other areas I got to trust Him with.
You about to preach?
I'm just saying this is true. I can only talk about what I know.
Right,
it really
and it's
my
good.
heart.
And you're not ashamed of it, and you shouldn't be.
Nah.
But I'm gonna tell you, we can definitely come back again with that, and that just be a show in itself.
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
that'll be a show in itself.
All that stuff. Yeah.
I'm so happy for you. I'm just so happy. I thank you. Thank you. Don't go anywhere. I know we didn't scratch the surface of Will Houghton, and I knew that we wouldn't. But that's okay because
good.
yes, but I know that you're going to come back. I'm definitely going to have you back. But don't go anywhere. I want to say to each and everyone who watched every single week, I appreciate you because you didn't have to, but I'm sure glad that you did. Again, share, comment in the section. Say shared so that we'll know. We are going to be drawing the name tomorrow of the winner of this beautiful necklace that also comes with earrings from Glamorous Embellishment featuring paparazzi. So you have to put in the comments shared, so this way we'll know to write your name down. Sean Thurman, who is the owner of Glamorous Embellishment, she will spin the wheel with your name on it, and we'll pick a winner. And before noon tomorrow, you'll know who the winner is. I appreciate you all. I love you all. Stay in your happy space. It is the best place to be. Once again, Will Houghton, keep doing what you're doing. Continue to stay blessed. I know that you will. And thank you so much for joining me tonight. Have a great night. Stay blessed. Happy birthday, Shay. This cup is for you. I'm not bossy. I am the boss. You are bossy. I'll see you in a little bit. Love you guys. Have a good night.